We're going to be doing a short interview with Toby Keith going on in the background. Tom, we can't thank you enough for having the Soldiers family out here today.
No, it's great to have you out here. It's a wonderful show. We love it.
You love it. You love it. Okay. We've got the Blog Talk Radio going. We've got the live stream going, the Ustream. We got it all going here today. So as we come in, we've got about 2 minutes to the we always play American Soldier. Go through it. We had a few different songs, and this has been the most voted on of all of the. Johnny Bullock's going to be joining us later on in the show today. Good. And then coming up in 1 hour, Loretta Palacios. Where's she at? San Diego. There she is. There she's out there. And we're going to be live with Freedom to Rock coming back here in a little bit. So tell us a little bit about where we're sitting right now. And as soon as the song is over, we're going to jump right back in with our listeners over at Blog Talk Radio. So where are we in Illinois right now?
So we're at Hoffman Estates, Illinois, the headquarters of Sears Holdings Corporation. Formerly, we're located in the Sears Tower, and we've made the move out to Hoffman Estates. And some people call this huge building. It's like they took the Sears Tower and laid it on its side. It's so big.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. When you walk from one end to the other, you may be walking almost 3/4 of a mile.
Wow. And I still call it Sears Tower, even though, okay, Mr. Willis, I know you wrote a check for it. And that's funny, but it's like, well, where are you going today? Well, we're going to Sears headquarters. They go, oh, downtown. I go, no, Hoffman Estates. And you yourself, how did you come up to Sears? How'd they find you? How'd you find?
In my past, I've done a lot of things with support of the military community, and there was a marketing opportunity that opened up at Sears, and they were looking for somebody that had some background in marketing and the military, and it was just a really great fit, and was able to come in and play a big role in the kind of furthering Sears support of the military.
Well, we're just coming up, and you can hear it. I'm going to put the music on for all of our folks out on Ustream, live stream, we stream. We all stream, right, Johnny? And YouTube. You don't want to hear me. You want to hear Toby Keith. We know that, to go through it. This is just one of our songs. We got great new songs today coming, too. So let's hear the end of this with Toby Keith, and then remember, it's 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're going right out to San Diego live with Loretta Palacio with Freedom to Rock. But here you can see, I like that sign in the background. It says Sears, a little bit. So a real special thanks to Toby. We're going to flip back on here into one screen, make sure we're all good. There we are. And everything's wonderful. Okay, I love it when a plan comes together, Tom. There we go. We're going to fade out there. And one of the nice things here is we're back live with the Soldiers Family TV and radio talk show. Coming up in the fourth quarter of this year, we're moving, I want to say Sears Tower, but we're moving to Willis Tower, WJYS Channel 33. We'll also be on DirecTV, Comcast Cable. Can't thank them enough, escomedia.net. Thank you so much for having us out there. Hey, and on Saturdays, our brand new shows, our number one shows, and what is it, Johnny? How to buy a used car. You figure it out. Okay, hey, what do men and women want to do all the time? It's like talk about cars. Young man sitting next to me today, Tom, what a pleasure. What an absolutely pleasure. Thank you so much for having us out today.
Pleasure getting to see you today.
And all good things take time, and we see Tom, you're everywhere. Every time we go to an event, you're standing there.
Well, we play a big role in trying to support the military, and it seems like you're doing the same, so it's just natural that we cross paths a lot.
So let's back up a couple of years, and I've got a couple of years on you, but we were walking down here. Johnny Bullock's going to be joining us shortly with one of our – I got a couple decades. Okay. Johnny Bullock's going to be joining us from the Wounded Heroes Foundation, woundedheroesfund.net. A shout-out to Tony Nashar, Jeff Deering, Adam Warwick, Skip Herman, all of our friends out there, Spiro Adamus. And we're in this country – where are you born? Where do you hail from? Where do you originally start? Where's the family?
Family is originally from Huntsville, Alabama.
Holy smoke! Go NASA! Okay, there you go. So is everybody a rocket scientist out there?
Yeah. My dad moved to Huntsville to be a part of the space program in the early '60s with Werner von Braun and the whole shooting match. Yeah.
Mr. von Braun.
Yeah, Werner von Braun. I went to Virgil I. Grissom High School, Gus Grissom High, and yeah.
Well, we're getting a scoop here. Okay, so there you are in the center of the military and space technology world, and then you get through high school, and what do you start thinking then? What's happening in high school?
Well, first of all, I was going to be an astronaut like everyone else in the Rocket City.
Really?
Yeah, that was my dream. But then at some point, I was approached with an opportunity to potentially go to West Point and play football.
Okay, and let's really clarify what West Point is for a lot of people who don't understand it. There was, and possibly at that time, 1,500 potential candidates, and they're all 4.0 captain. 25% are captains of their sports teams. They all can go anywhere you want to go. So you didn't kind of go to West Point. It is a selection and a nomination process through a local congressman and/or senator. So it's quite the privilege to go there.
Yeah, thank you. It was one of many candidates that you have to
Over 10,000.
go to the congressman, go through a pretty rigorous screening process to be able to even get considered.
So you got your sites. They take you in, and you go from what the heck am I doing here?
Yeah, absolutely. You show up,
What am I doing here?
you show up. You're not quite sure what you're doing when you're there on site. But once you get into the place, you start to figure out what it's all about and why it is such a special place.
Okay, so you go through there, and 4 years later they go, congratulations. And what rank do you come out of West Point?
As a second lieutenant, an Army butter bar.
Okay, the butter. So we got the butter bars going there. We're up and running. And then what do they tell you the next day?
The next day, you learn what your branch is going to be. If you're going to be armor, infantry, combat engineer like I was, and you go off and do some specialized training in those areas.
Okay. And then you go through that, and then what's the next thing? What year is this?
This is 1993.
1993, and they go, Tom, we have an idea for you. What do they tell you?
Well, they tell me, here's what unit you're going to go to. Here's the men you're going to be leading. And so,
are you a first lieutenant at this point?
You're still a second.
Still second.
Second lieutenant.
Takes what, 2 years?
Yeah, about that. And for me, it was interesting because as I arrived, we got put on a no-notice deployment to deploy to Panama to quell some riots. So I actually met my platoon on the air transport as we were on our way to
Panama,
to Central America, and so it was a very interesting way to take command of a group of men, most of which that are older than you, and lead them into a somewhat hostile situation.
So here you are, approximately 22, 24 years old.
Yeah, 23.
Okay, you're jumping on a plane and we're going down to Central America.
That's basically exactly the case. It was in the middle of the winter, so the doors opened in Panama, and you might imagine the heat just bellows into the transport, and we're there, and the riots are going on, and we immediately go out to the location to start to try to restore some order.
So we get through that. You come back kind of safe and sound, kind of. Yeah. And, the next thing you hear, they tap you on the back and go, we got another idea for you. What's the next thing they tell you?
Well, the next thing was a no-notice deployment out to the Middle East. So this is in Kuwait. There was
1993, 94?
This is closer to 94, 95. Okay. The situation was Saddam Hussein still had a number of Republican Guard, pushed them down to the Kuwaiti border. We went in to set up a defense. He then moved those forces up to the Kurds in the north, and we became the stabilizing force and tried to kind of keep some order going in that area.
Well, we're taking a short break here on one of our channels. We're going to reconnect. We'll be right back with the Soldier's Family on YouTube Live right now. You'll see us